Break the fucking things up. 3 hours too long.
No, it's fine. Brisbane.
Shut your face.
Potentially. Brisbane, is our show too long? Write in, let us know. Brisbane 18, Cowboys 34 in the end. Your thoughts on the two Queensland teams, the lesser Queensland teams, Ollie? How do you think that?
The underfolk. Brisbane, I've got them 15th. I've got Brisbane 15th. I've seen plenty of people saying that they think they're going to push for the top 8. I think that's a bit of delusion of grandeur there. I know one person in particular, a fellow podcast host, that thinks they're going to make the 8, who is a Brisbane supporter. So
does he smoke crack?
I don't think so.
Yes. NRL on crack.
Anyway, yeah, I can't see him doing much. I've ranted and raved about it before, but I really don't think Kevin Walters will turn out to be that good of a coach.
He's a rep
coach.
Coach.
Especially not at a team like the Broncos. I don't think he's a good fit.
Yep.
And the Cowboys, 14th. Funnily enough, what have they done? Okay, they've got Todd Payton. A lot of people saying we saw what Todd Payton could do last year. He's going to be a great coach. Well, we really didn't, because he took over a side halfway through the year in unprecedented circumstances. Like, that's not really going to happen again in the history of rugby league, other than this season, obviously, with the Warriors. But so we'll gauge how good a coach he is this year at the Cowboys. But
the Cowboys don't have the pack that the Warriors had.
And the thing is, too, what have they really done? They've not really signed anyone. You've got to actually show intent to improve. They've not really displayed that intent. And to be honest, Jason Taumalolo is not the Jason Taumalolo he was a couple of years ago. I personally think he fits the role of front rower better than Locke these days.
To go off and have a break and all that.
Go off and have a break, and that big front rower pushing out. He plays as a front rower in Locke. That's why he makes big meters.
That's a good argument.
He's decent in defence, but he's more a front rower.
Payton's already come out and said he's only playing 50, 60 minutes this year. So
but he's done the last 2 years as well.
Because didn't he have that knee injury or something like that?
His body's busted.
He's
he's
literally carrying a team. Put it that way.
Yep.
Damo, thoughts on the two Queensland?
They're bottom 4. Both of them. Both. They're bottom 4. With Dragons and Bulldogs in my eyes, they're both bottom 4. That's my bottom 4 right there.
Yep.
And I can't see him doing too much. Walters is a rep coach, and you're getting a superstar Queensland team when he was coaching Queensland. I can't see him do too much. And I don't think Milford's going to have a big year, and I think he'll be done at Brisbane by the end of this season.
Superstar Queensland team this year. It was the worst Queensland team of all time, according to the New South Wales.
He didn't coach that team, though. That was Wayne Bennett's team.
Yeah,
of course.
It was old boy
Kevin Walters.
Clap for the old hand.
Well, Mal Meninga coached the superstar one. Anyway, carry on. Cowboys.
It's 3 tries, played 6. Brisbane 18, Cowboys 34. 24 out of 34 sets for Brisbane, 27 out of 39 for the Cowboys. 4 line breaks to 5, 21 tackle busts to 28, 5 offloads for Brisbane, 11 for the Cowboys. 1 forced dropout for Brisbane and 2 for the Cowboys. 318 tackles played, 266. 3 ruck infringements apiece. 2 penalties to Brisbane, 1 to the Cowboys, and 10 errors for the Broncos and 12 for the Cowboys. Top tacklers Lodge with 34, Robson with 32. Coates made 136 metres and the Hammer made 169 metres.
I watched the first half of this, and then I couldn't bring myself to watch the second half, so I skipped through to the Val Holmes bit. And then
Why?
that was it. So,
why couldn't you bring yourself to
I had better things to do. You know, the sun was out.
Super dryers.
Shaved my hair.
had to go vomit.
Clean the car.
Spent half the day on the toilet.
Talk to the missus.
What was
All these things are better.
Ass fountain.
The dog shit hadn't been cleaned. All these Nash. That's not fair. That's not fair on Nash. I thought Brisbane were pretty good for the first 15 minutes.
Positive signs
I thought there's enough to speak out.
Realistically.
Hey, mate.
Brisbane were the better team in the first half.
Brisbane was the better team in the first half. I thought Osako looked actually pretty good. I thought the chopping block did and was fine, and Turpin was pretty good. The spruik from the trials was that Lodge is back, and he looked he was fine.
Yeah, he looked good.
Jordan Ricky, they've got something there.
Definitely.
And that's probably about it. I thought they looked They were fine.
Well,
They
the first
were fine.
half, Brisbane stretched the Cowboys all over the field, mate. They were.
Tessie Neal was good.
They were
For
stretching.
someone that they bagged out of the.
Yeah,
No Abbott Kelly though.
Stretching the Cowboys' defence everywhere, and that was basically their, the majority of their best squad on either side. And the Brisbane attack was actually fairly good in that first 40 minutes. Turpin was really good. I thought Turpin was, he was probably close to the best on the field. Croft played one of his better games that he's played for quite some time. I've given him a couple of pot plants, but he was actually really good in attack. He set up a nice try, made a couple of nice, set up a couple of nice line breaks as well. Isako was very good. He did have a couple of errors in his game. As you mentioned, Ricky and Lodge were both also very good. Francis Molo, for me, was probably close to the best front rower in that game for the Cowboys. He was tremendous. I think he only played about 35 minutes, but he absolutely killed it. Robson was fairly good out of hooker for the Cowboys. And Tamalolo just did what Tamalolo does, put out pretty good numbers and played about 40 minutes, I think. Clifford was solid without being outstanding, tried hard, and so did the Hammer, but that was about it. Hess was probably better than he's been for a while. And Drinkwater actually made a few nice things happen.
The articles out of it were, Drinkwater's going to lose his one spot, but he was good. I thought first half he was one of their better players, and then he was good at.
He was actually better when he moved back into 5'8".
So if that's what happened, that's fine.
So.
Clifford was fine too. Clifford did enough.
I think, obviously it's only a trial game as we keep saying, but I thought Drinkwater was much better at 5'8" than he was at fullback.
I think
and
that's
you've got
a
couple of. You've got Hammer, you've got Val Holmes that could go back to fullback. So
Val goes back to one.
I think
Val
you're better off pushing
Val go to
Drinkwater
one.
back into the 6.
Yeah.
Morgan was pedestrian, looked very slow. Obviously, he's coming off the back of a serious injury, but he holds the key to this team.
Yeah.
If he comes out and kills it, Michael Morgan comes out and kills it, they could end up sniffing around the 8. But if he goes rubbish, then they're going to be bottom
Ultimately,
4,
we've spent 4.5 minutes talking about this game when it's going to be 14 plays 15, and
Quite possibly,
I think if they play each other in round 8, it'll be 34-18 Cowboys, and they play each other in round 20, it'll be 34-18 Brisbane. I think it's
Top
that close,
30.
depending how they're going. I have grave concerns about Brisbane. And I had optimism about Brisbane last Friday. There's already a stench of I'm not sure Kevin Malters is the right man to put that.
I think the Walker boys should have
right.
got a shot there. Honestly.
Apparently, he's going to get rid of.
He's got a bit to do. He's got work to do. Let's say it that way.
You watch next Friday, they'll come out and beat Parramatta in round 1.
Wants
You
to get
watch.
rid of Dearden. I can't understand Dearden. Yeah, you probably will get him up first game at home. That's what he's
I would
good at.
agree, but they're missing a
big
talisman,
pump up,
Payne Haas. If they were full strength, it's a bit like the Hook thing. It's like Milford's not your answer. We know he's not the answer. He hasn't been the answer.
But he's there.
But he's going to now take the spot off 2 24-year-old halves
Who are ready to go.
who could be the answer.
Yes.
But he's taking one of them.
But $1 million a season, you can't not.
Well, you can, but you can't.
It was one of Asako's better games that he's ever
I thought
played.
he was
It was
good.
a trial.
And
Made a
the
couple
mail out
errors,
of the
but
trials was Tessie New was just awful with the first trial,
Yep.
which I didn't see, but he was fine.
he was solid.
He was pretty
Yeah,
good.
Definitely
He was
solid.
fine.
He made a couple of nice
They've
little
got
breaks.
their forward pack's got something. They've got Flegler got through it in one piece. He can play. Carrigan was my super coach staple all last
Carrigan
year.
is a
I just now
weapon.
think he
Didn't get a lot of minutes.
He has
was-
too much to do this year for me to want to buy him ahead of an Angus Crichton.
He's priced too high now.
yeah.
On the back of last year.
And then you got Ricky Haas, Alex Glenn's a workhorse. I just can't see it changing now, to be honest.
So let's get excited, Daggy.
Yeah, let's get excited. I don't know how much burp I just beeped out. The Tigers and Manly, your thoughts on these two teams, Damo? For the season, Tigers and Manly.
They'll fight for the 8.
Both teams.
More Tigers, honestly, than Manly. I just don't see Manly doing a lot this season. I don't know why. Yeah, don't thumbs up.
I can tell you why, but that's right.
We told everybody on on Friday.
But as I said, I've practically said me 8 already. But if you're gonna throw that random one in to go to the 8, it could be the Tigers. But I don't think Manly. I think Manly are anywhere between 9 to 11.
Oracle.
Here we go. Here's the Oracle. Hang on. I'll just
hang
mute
on.
myself for
Yeah.
this thing.
Mute us all.
now unconfidently have the Tigers winning the Wooden Spoon. I have been tipping them to win the Wooden Spoon in 2021 since about round 10 in 2020, just looking at the way things were going.
And you're a stubborn man. And
I'm
you're
a stubborn
stick
man.
To, it.
To be honest, I can't really be bothered thinking of another team. So look, I've got them last. I do think they're a bottom 4 team, though. Like, honestly, I do.
Yeah.
But they are a couple injuries away from probably finishing last, I reckon, because they've recruited well. But I think if some of their new signings go down, especially, they will be struggling in 2021. My thought process in the off-season was don't sign anyone for 2021 Madge and go in hard for place for 2022 and actually make the finals. They still can do that, but they'll probably do a bit better than I first expected in 2021. But I don't know. I'm still confident that they're a bottom 4 team, but not so confident anymore that they'll finish last. With Manly, 11th or 12th. I think they'll be sort of mid-range there.
Rugby League, in my opinion. Find it on Facebook and let Ollie know what you think. So
Give us your comments.
talk about the game. No, talk about the game. But
All right, yeah, so we got 26 out of 34 sets for the Tigers, 27 out of 36 for the Eagles, 11 line breaks for the Tigers to 3 from Manly. Tackle bust were 34 to 14. Offloads 24 to 7. Forced dropouts. Eagles got this one. 2 for the Eagles, 1 for the Tigers. There was a 40-20 for the Eagles. 287 tackles for the Tigers. Actually made more tackles than the Eagles, who made 236. 5 ruck infringements from the Tigers, 1 to the Eagles. 2 penalties to Wests and 3 to Manly. 12 errors, played 10. There was 28 tackles from Little and 23 from Fainu, the younger Fainu. And Nofa with 164 metres, Aloye with 96 metres, which is probably not what you want out of your top metre gainer for the game. And they were the stats.
And he didn't start.
No, he only played about 25 metres and 25 minutes and made the most metres.
That's knocked off my comments. Okay, okay.
Okay, so it was unexpected, but there's some really nice signs there for the Tigers.
Uh-huh.
There was some continuity in between those halves, and there was actually some good ball presented for the outside backs. Hooker rotation looked pretty good with the 2 young blokes. 12, Tamo and Garner were the strongest out of that pack. Cheekham backed them up. Laurie, was really good. I think he only played about 30 minutes, but...
No, he played
about 60. I'm talking about,
Dewey.
Dewey. Dewey only played about 30
half.
minutes.
He played for about when I took Brooks off, Dewey
and
went
did
on.
some
But
very,
he's not
very
playing
good
round
stuff.
1, is he?
No, he's suspended round 1.
Yeah,
And he
so
had
they reckon Dane Laurie's going
He
to
had
play
a pretty
fullback.
good combination with Laurie as well.
No, he's played.
So
He'll be fullback anyway. Dewey's 6.
Dewey's 6, by the looks of things.
Played 6 here.
Yep.
Let's start. Well, have you finished? May I?
I'll just give you. There wasn't a lot that excited me out of Manly, but Schuster does obviously look very exciting. He was their best on the field by a fair way. Morgan was fairly solid at fullback, but wasn't given a lot of opportunities. Ben Trebojevic looks like a solid player, but he needs to work on his first contact. He got pushed back quite a bit when that first contact in defence, but
Is
in
that the
attack
younger
he
brother?
looked all right. Yeah.
I'll start with Manly. Start with Ben Turbo because I think he's in every second bloke Supercoach team. And I assume he's probably in the 17 this year because
He's going to get close. Yeah.
I was surprised he needs if he's playing back row. He probably needs to put on 5-10 kilos.
As a ball runner, he's okay, but
He
that
hit a
first
nice hole. He's
contact
got
in
to try. He
defence-
looked. He was just getting owned a little bit. He looks for those that haven't seen him. He looks like a bigger Tommy Turbo.
Yeah,
He's
a
thrown to
wider
his older
Tommy.
brother. Yeah. He's got the coat hanger shoulders, but he's built like Tommy. That's not a knock. I'm just saying he is. But he's not Jake. I'm just saying. But he's playing back row. He is who he is. He's a big lanky fella.
Yeah.
But he's got talent.
He's a young
He's
boy.
got
He
a
needs to
nice
fill out a
try.
little.
They reckon he
He's
was
got to
meant to be
fill
the
out.
best.
Never happened.
They reckon he was meant to be the best.
He's apparently real strong. But
Yeah.
whatever.
He was
You'll
fairly
have to
quick, ran a good line.
I thought for the
First
first
to see
10
his first
minutes
grade's
when they
a
had
different
Bit soft in
Paseka,
first.
Paseka was tremendous.
Oh, he was very good. Yeah, Paseka was very good.
And I don't know. I was surprised that Alloway
Well,
ran more meters, but I suppose it was shorter contact meters. But Paseka, I thought, was outstanding to the point where I
Backup
have actually
efforts
bought him
was very good.
for Supercoach this year because I imagine him in a lot of that. When there was him, Tupou, and Cust together in the first 15 minutes, they were good.
Cuss copped an injury.
He's injured.
Gruevski actually was quite good. He was one of their better players as well, that I forgot to mention.
Yep. But I said that's the hope for Manly. Schuster, when you mentioned the kick returns and the 40-20, that was all Schuster, plus he scored a try. He has to be their starting 5'8", and I think he will be. And I imagine Foran plays 9 now. That's where he signed to play.
Yeah.
That's where he's been training, apparently.
That's what Desi wanted.
It's not great for defence, but...
They, not great defence. But that's the positives. I think that's all I can say about Manly is that I really liked, essentially, fell in love with Paseka's efforts for the day. Now, the Tigers. Obviously, I'm not getting carried away because it's a trial game and everyone's going to think I'm going to rant and rave, think we're doing a comp. Of course not. The positives were I really liked the energy of the team. They were they looked a different team to the back end last year. Just to run through the key points, it's a better forward pack than last year,
Much
pure and
better
simply.
forward pack.
You got Tamo, Offengawe. Twile looked great at lock. Actually looked great at lock. He's built the right size for lock. So, produced is on the way. So I think in terms of starting forward pack, when you throw, and Garner was okay, and Leilua has been tremendous both weeks.
Oh, how good was he?
I know he's beating
how
up
did
kids,
I not
but
mention him, mate? He was fucking tremendous.
He was outstanding. So, yes, tick. Dane Laurie, outstanding. His run meters, his involvement, just a great pickup. Actually gives us a fullback because we haven't had a fullback for a while. I agree with everything he said about Dewey. I loved it. He set up, I think, 2 tries. One was just a short ball. One was the rainbow ball.
Yep.
Both tremendous. That's what I thought he could play. Brooks was both sides of the field, so I liked that. And I like the Simpkin combination. I imagine Tuki's going to start on the bench for us. But both trials, little Jake Simpkins has sniffed around big Tuki and scored a try for him both times. So he's a big boy. Can get an arm out and throw an offload. Jimmy the Jet looked good, and he only had about 3 runs.
He did look solid.
Scored a try, but he had one real nice run where he nearly got the afterburners out. The left-hand side looks exciting given that the damage Luciano's doing and Joey's going to be inside him. So you're going to be throwing you're going to have to deal with one or the other in attack, defensively. But I just like at least I can sleep tonight thinking, hey, I'm not saying necessary top 8. I can't imagine us not finishing top 10 if we play that style. I think Dewey is a 5'8", and I called for it for half of last year, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, well,
I think the key's now to Luke Brooks. I think it's in the Mitchell Mose basket that, hey, if Brooks turns up and plays like he did in 2018...
You've got some good options outside, yeah.
On the back of a good forward pack. Little, Simpkins, I'm probably leaning to the younger, but Little was fine. That might be the one if you really need
they're going
to
to rotate, I would imagine.
They're going to play half-half. Yeah. And Dane Laurie is just a piece of the puzzle, as I said earlier. So,
that's
all in all, I think I'm excited to finish 9th, really. I think it'd be a good night.
And that's my summary. Can you throw $100 on the team to finish 9th? Because you boys are
Sports probably too. I'm sure if you
are the professionals at doing it.
But I think it'll be a good 9th. And I think we can beat... I'm saying that for once from the point of view, if 2 teams fall over, we will beat them.
As I said on Friday, I wanted to rank his high I put you in at 13th on Friday, going off the back of that trial. I know Eagles have come down in my estimation. Tigers went up, and that was even before this game, and that's just increased that again. I wouldn't be surprised if they finished closer to the 8 than you do to the bottom.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that I can almost add final trial thoughts. I think we can stamp Dogs, the 2 Queensland teams.
Dragons.
I think Manly without Turbo.
And Dragons.
There's 5 that I think Tigers.
Turbo comes back round 6, 5,
yeah,
6.
Still,
it's not that far off. But,
but it is if you're 1 and 6 or 1 and 4.
But
anyway,
if you win
point is,
all of games when he's there.
All of a sudden you're 10th, and then it only takes Newcastle to implode, and that's all I'm saying.
As we've had this conversation, and I don't think we've actually had it on air, but the top 5 are basically going to be in and around each other, and the rest of them fucking
fight.
Throw your cards
it all means
in
nothing.
the air,
and that's why I
that's why I think
did
it's going to be an exciting season as well.
That's why I did my draw matrix in that there's 5 you can rubber stamp should make the finals unless they all
The
fall off a
dumbest
complete
thing
cliff.
happens, yeah.
Yeah, injuries, whatever. Yeah.
And then
suspensions.
there's probably 8 teams that could finish 6, 7, 8, and are probably going to make up numbers come final time, but are going to beat
the
that.
last two were probably the last
So
two.
if
But yeah,
if you said to me, Newcastle will finish 6, it's okay. And if I said Sharks, no, not Sharks. If I said Tigers will finish 8th, you go okay.
Okay.
quite possibly.
Yeah, you can't, whatever. I can understand arguments for both. I think that's our final thoughts
7,
on
8, 9, and 10.
trial
I'll
round.
fight
So
for
I can't
Barney-
see much apart from the top 5 making an imprint.
So-
No, that's what I
yeah.
said. There's only 6 teams in my
So
eyes. that win
Barney, bottom end of what we said, and even a full wrap up of all that. Has this round it hasn't changed your thoughts on any of the teams, or is it rubber stamped more that hey, you can pen some?
No, actually, pretty much confirmed most of my opinions before that we spoke about on Friday. The Tigers surprised me, and that's realistically about it, to be honest. Because I don't think there was a lot of games that were close to NRL level. I think the step up we're going to
Like I
see
said,
a week and a half.
Oh,
from
yeah,
now
it's a
is
whole
gonna
different
be
I think
game.
you could say
Penrith,
the
Parramatta,
Roosters, the
Raiders.
Penrith game, and I would say Cherry Field is a reflection of where those two teams are.
Yeah,
Where they- yeah.
true. And
So 3
Warriors
games. I see.
Titans was, I expect them both to be around the same sort of level, and
Yeah.
it was a 12-all draw. So
But in terms of quality, I think Penrith Panthers and I think Penrith Para, I think the games you mentioned were NRL
close
Ish.
to
So
Yeah,
for
NRL
for at least 50 minutes, it was
to
NRL
give you a line.
quality.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Barney, your Supercoach. Any players that you just suddenly want to elevate in Supercoach thoughts?
I'm looking at Jacob Host. I think he's probably going to get a fair bit of time. And
You think he's going to play
at a
this month?
decent price? He could be half decent. I haven't really thought too much about this. As I said, I'm trying to just sort of keep
Playing
it out
for
of my
team.
head because last year I made about 84 changes and then regretted 80 of them.
Well,
once round 2 came around. So
I can safely tell you that I've changed my entire team.
yeah, I know. I've got into your head,
Just,
mate.
I'll wait till Tuesday. I'll wait till Tuesday.
Yeah,
till it
and that's
all
fine.
comes
We
out.
will do
Yeah.
this. But a couple I want to make mention of. I've now bought Brandon Smith because he's obviously going to, for at least
he'll
the first
start.
He'll be
month,
playing
Yeah.
at least an hour. at
playing an hour.
Hooker.
I've gone back to Alex Twal and Tino as front rowers.
I had 12.
Really like
yeah.
Paseka. Crichton's a set and forget for me now. I really want Young and Tupanua. And I've now gone and just decided, I'm strengthening up my halves, potentially set and forget, but I can now fit Keary, Hughes, Luai, White and all in, and I'm
Oh,
happy
wow.
with that.
Yeah, that's
and
not a bad
Latrell must
rotation, yeah.
happen. I've got Latrell and Papanaz and fullbacks.
I think
So-
Latrell's pretty
play.
close to a must at the moment too.
I think Latrell at the price and Papanaz. Papanaz, Nelly. Latrell at 500 is going to make money because over the course of a month, there's going to be 2 games he'll score 100 points.
If Morgan
Oh,
Harper's
easy.
going to be starting for Manly at fullback, I know that he might not get a whole heap of points, but there's probably going to be a game he's going to score a few tries here and there, depending on what price he's priced at. Which
Depending
is,
on what your team is, you could have him just sitting on the
I
side.
know, and I know that these days with the hype is all around cheapies, but honestly, if you can set and forget some of these players, you're set for the season. And
you need to set 4 or 5 at least.
Brian Tuo,
For the
outstanding
season, yeah.
again. He was already in my thoughts. Jimmy Roberts and Dane Laurie did nothing to change them.
Yep.
And the last one I wanted to ask about, actually.
Victor's interesting.
I had
Hooker.
Victor, but the more I think about it, he's not a scorer. He's more of he's an inflictor. He's not a...
He's going to make 30 tackles and set up a try here and there.
Yeah, but he's going to hurt
probably
people more
his
than I
price.
think he's going to. I just think maybe if you want to go 2 hookers, he's a probably good second hooking option.
Connor Watson probably worked his way out
Now,
of my team.
I was
going to.
that's the one I want to ask you. So the Guzzler, our friend Turkey Guzzler from Newcastle, was very negative. What did you think of his
I had
efforts?
barely any impact whatsoever. He sort of just floated around. He wasn't running direct lines, which is where he's at his best, running into the line and then playing or trying to beat the line. He sort of floated around out the back, and yeah. I don't know how Newcastle set up in attack, to be honest.
Because you got
They
Kurt-
looked very confused for the majority of that game, and without Ponga as well for the first month or whatever, he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I could see them not scoring a lot of points for the first month of the competition.
And that's the thing. That's the Brisbane thing as well. That suddenly there's probably 3 clubs giving away a 3 or 4 game start, which
That'll
which
hurt you
counts.
to the back end of the season.
Yeah, we have no masterclass. So every week we had disaster class. Are we?
Yeah, we're coming back. We've got the punting disaster class, so we'll be putting a $10 either
we're
a
going
$10
50 this
bet.
week.
We're going 50.
50.
50 this year. Okay.
Yeah,
Big
So
50.
we're
dogs
going to have
on
$50 to spend.
Yeah.
Maximum 3 bets, I reckon.
No, $50, spend it you want. No. Yeah, sorry. Go.
Maximum 3 bets. You know
I'd say 4's fair. I don't want to be
Four?
sitting going
Okay.
$5 here, $5 there. No.
Yeah.
3 bets fair. $50, 3 bets.
Yeah,
I think that's
$50,
cool.
3 bets. We're going to have Peanut of the Week, which will be a new addition to the show.
Yeah.
So basically just ragging on social media with the stupid inane
So
comments,
the comments
that come
either
through
we get
social media.
from our
but
page or from Rugby League, in my opinion. We won't name and shame, but we'll certainly read out their thoughts
Pop Plan
once
of
a
the
week.
Week will also come
Pop
back.
Plan of the Week's back, and I think that covers it. Salute and Slap is a favourite. Are we doing that?
Yes,
Of
of
course.
course.
So we've got
100%.
segments galore. I have to get sound effects for all this shit. All right.
Filth.
Yeah,
Pure
salute.
filth.
Fact, pure filth. All right,
Pure
the filth. So salute and slap, Pop Plan of the Week,
Peanut of
Putting
the Week.
Disaster Class, Supercoach Thoughts, and Peanut of the Week. Wow. In between that, we also have a deep dive into each and every game from the round preceding and the round proceeding. Following. So we'll deep dive every week, as well as some news things, but we won't spend as much time on news as once we get into the season. I don't think anyone does better than our deep dives into each game, and I look forward to that. Thank you, boys, for joining us.
Thank
Anything you want to add?
Thank you.
Love pulling a game of footy apart. How
Check.
good is it?
I enjoy it thoroughly. PCTC for your, if you want to get into our tipping comp, $50 in you go. And apart from that, boys, good job. We will sit and have a beer while I pack up this, and we will talk to everyone. Subscribe on iTunes and Spotify to hear our thoughts each and every week. And we'll talk to you next week for our round 1 preview.